Hello, welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Kim Willis here with a training for you. Great training, fantastic training, and my God, I can't believe it. It's free. I think you'll be saying to yourself by the end of it that you can't believe that you snaffled this up without paying a cent. One day I will charge for it, but for now it is free. Explode your sales by helping people, and this is really the path less traveled. In an age of hustlers and fast buck merchants and all the rest of it, the mere notion of just helping people is kind of alien to them. So it revolves around my concept called the conversational approach to making sales. Okay, so let's have a look at that. As I see it, a course or even my free report prepares the mind for me to work with the student. Does that mean I'll be working with you? Probably not, because most people are not a good fit for what I do. So chill, just relax, no big deal. But if by chance we do work together at some point, you'll be well placed to maximize the results because you'll have a higher understanding of what I do and how I do it. Who am I? Well, I'm an Aussie who started online marketing in 2006. Despite some initial hiccups and with help from a mentor, I started making money at the end of the first month. And she's still a very good friend to this day. She lives in Queensland, Australia. 55 days later, I quit the daily commute and I've been working from home ever since. And often it's been very much in a part-time capacity, particularly in the early years because I was taking care of my kids and there was all sorts of things going on outside of work. Over the years, I've sold millions of dollars of products and services and I'm well qualified to give you guidance on marketing and sales strategies. 2011, however, my wife died in tragic circumstances and a year and a half later, I lost my mum. It was a tough period. And not long after, I decided to become a digital nomad and have been traveling and exploring different countries since then. And interestingly, both of my sons are doing the same thing. So we're all in Asia at the moment. Currently, I alternate between Cambodia and Vietnam, two of my favorite countries. I recommend visiting those countries at least. On a personal note, I love music, food, movies, and of course, travel. Life is an adventure. You want to join me? A few happy snaps. I mean, I've got thousands of them, but in the middle there is Mexico. On the right there is me outside a kind of a memorial thing in Cambodia, and on the left in the Philippines. Believe it or not, it was so cold I had to wear a jumper, something warm, right? So over the years, since I've become a digital nomad, I've been traveling, but now I tend to stay put in one country and then I just do little side trips, right? Bali, Thailand, Malaysia, Singapore. I was going to go to France this year, but unfortunately, something intervened called COVID, and just the best laid plans, fall apart sometimes. Nothing to do with you, right? When I was traveling more, I'd go to conferences and things like that and network with lots of great people. Top left there is Joe Sugarman, an industry legend. Industry legend, right? Joe Sugarman. John Chow on the bottom right. I used to teach offline. Now, I became an avid information products developer. But after comparing the results people get from courses with the results from coaching, personal coaching, I now put most of my focus on that coaching. Okay. Now, enough of me. Let's talk about you. You need more customers. You need them now, right? No messing about. There are many keys to sales success. One of them is this: know, like, and trust. Now, if you can engender feelings of trust and likability in people, making sales becomes a whole lot easier. It's not the only thing you need. It's not the only ingredient, but it's certainly an important one. But more than this, you also need a selling system that works day in, day out. Now, I don't know about you, but most people are not born salespeople, not born sales types. They often struggle with the mere thought of doing sales work. But look, here's the thing. If you turn new connections into friends and friends into clients without the sales pitch, your business life, and by extension your personal life too, will be transformed. Although I have developed and sold many courses, I'm not in the business of selling information. Well, at least not anymore, or not much, okay? Right now, definitely not. The world is awash with information, and I'm sure you've accumulated lots of it over the years, and I'm betting that most of these courses and things, like I sometimes call it digital stuff, haven't made an iota of difference to your life. Industry insiders like me know that 95% of people who buy a course do nothing with what they learn. Indeed, most don't even finish the course, and some never start. Incredible, isn't it? Some people have invested thousands of dollars in these courses. Yeah. Does that mean you shouldn't buy a course? No, it doesn't. I've bought lots of courses and I have gotten some value from them. They're valuable for one simple reason. They get the ball rolling, don't they? Forward movement is the name of the game, and for that reason, a course can be useful. But in the vast majority of situations, courses aren't transformational. And let me tell you something, I'm in the transformation business, aren't you? Okay, so who is this for? Self-employed salespeople, that's an obvious one. Offline or online, but particularly salespeople that are wanting to use the internet more to do business. I work well with them. Coaches and consultants, the expert class, people who aren't intrinsically sales oriented, but they know that they have to kind of put their best foot forward. They just don't want to be like the traditional hustler, you know, headlocking kind of salesperson. High-ticket digital course developers, high-ticket affiliate marketers, anyone whose business model requires one-on-one communications with prospects to make sales. So, is that you? Is that you? Particularly, as I say, people who have a higher value offer. I don't work that well with people that are selling little bitty ebooks and $20 offers and all that sort of stuff. So, I like to teach, train, and work with and help make sales for people who are in that upper echelon. Okay, that's you, great. Now, question. This is a tough one. Your cash reserves. It's not directly related to marketing and building business, but it does have very much a relationship with your longevity as a business owner. Because a lot of people, they kind of live hand to mouth 1 month after another, scraping to pay the bills and all the rest of it. If everything went pear-shaped today, how long could you sustain yourself without selling assets? Because, look, a recession comes along, a pandemic comes along, it's something that you can't control. Maybe there's other things that you've done, like myself in the past, where I made bad business decisions and I invested in all sorts of crazy things, and then the whole thing came tumbling down. But other than that, we're talking about these external, sometimes cataclysmic events that come along, and they often happen very, very fast, right? So we're caught short. We try and sell assets because we need cash because we don't have enough cash behind us. We try and sell assets, but guess what? The value goes down because when an external event happens, people run, don't they? It's fear drives everything. So you cannot beat cash at the end of the day during a crisis. Okay, so how long could you sustain yourself without selling assets? Would it be 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, or longer? Okay, how long? Answer the question. It's pretty important. And if we do a call together, I'm going to give you some insights on this very issue as well. Now, a couple of years ago, I did a bit of an evaluation and back of the envelope kind of a calculation, and it worked out that I had more than 2 years of cash sitting in the bank to cover any contingency. So, well, almost any. I mean, 2 years should be long enough. And then I did another calculation, thought, well, okay, that was living in the manner to which I've become accustomed. What if I tighten things up, I cut back here, I cut back up, cut back there, became much more frugal? How long would my current cash position help me sustain myself for? And it was well over 3 years, right? Now, it's not to brag, because I can tell you I've had situations in the past, because I wasn't a good money manager, I've had situations in the past where I had barely 1 month of expenses in the bank, okay? So I just asked you this question. Think about it. If we do a call, I'll probably ask you about it a little bit more, and then I'll give you a positive way forward, because I've been there, done that, right? Because I know what I'm talking about. All right, now I'm going to go off cam. I'm going to just work microphone now so that you can fully focus on the lessons. You don't be looking at my face and all the rest of it. I'll come back at the end there with the cam on, all right? But for now, for the lessons, I was going to Avoid the can, it'll just be me. So just hang on there, back in a mo. Now, you've got three options when it comes to making sales. You can be an order taker, you can do the hard sell, or you can use conversational selling. I favour number three. I've never been an order taker, right? Order takers take the line of least resistance and they just pick up the so-called easy sales. I've never been a hard sell merchant. I don't like that. It's not me. I don't feel comfortable with it. But I don't like order taking either. Because the problem with the order taker is that he leaves, or she leaves, so many opportunities on the table. And so the order takers invariably, if we're talking in a sales context, they're the mediocre earners. They don't make much money because they don't understand creative selling. They don't understand, or if they do understand it, they don't have the character or whatever it is to implement it in their own professional life, you know, or lives. Hard sell, well, you know, how many people are born salespeople? Okay, if that's you, this training is probably not going to be good for you. I think for most people, conversational selling is the way to go. Let's look at how conversational selling works. When you use this approach, your prospects will love you. They'll lock into every word you're saying. When you use the approach and use it well, do it well, they'll elevate you to the point where you're now seen as an expert and trusted confidant. But more than this, you'll become the leader they've been looking for. You know, people are looking for the alpha leader. Now, in the animal world, let's say in the dog world, it's the alpha male. It's always the alpha male. I believe that's what I'm told. The alpha male. Of course, in the human world, male or female, it doesn't matter. How does it work? Well, you've got to ask the right questions, listen intently to the answers, use intuition to ask other questions to help the prospect see how you can help them reach their goal, help them overcome challenges and obstacles. Not a bad list. Ask the right questions. That's where it starts. You've got to be a good listener. Having professional listening skills is critically important. Most people are too busy thinking about, most sales type people are too busy thinking about, you know, asking the next question than listening to the answer from the previous questions they asked. They don't listen to the answer. And because they don't listen to the answer, they can't improvise. You know, because they didn't really listen to it, and so now they're just like a machine, they're a robot, they're going to ask the next question on their list. But the next question on the list may not be the right question to ask at that point, because someone has just given you a clue with their answer. Well, you're better off pivoting off that clue, aren't you? Use intuition to ask other questions to help the prospect see how you can help them reach their goal. Help them overcome challenges and obstacles. That's it. Intuition is part of this deal, folks. You're taking them on the hero journey, okay? And you're taking them on a process that at times may be confronting for them. And sometimes they need to face their inner demons, their enemy, the enemy within, or the enemy without. And then your job is to help them overcome challenges and obstacles. Now, this may sound real scary, but after you've done it a few times, it's the most natural thing in the world for you to do. It's just natural because it's a conversation. It's not a sales pitch. Why I only use conversational selling. It takes the pressure off you and your prospect. There is no pitching. It gives your prospect the best possible outcome based on their situation. And it's solution focused, not product focused. Products come at the end of the process, not at the beginning of the process. So we don't just ram our product idea or our product or service down people's throats. You don't do that. You don't do that. That's not going to work very well. So we're solution focused, not product focused. And because of that, the potential is there to double, treble, quadruple, 10 times your earnings, whatever. Almost instantly. Maybe not 10 times instantly. But certainly when I learnt these approaches when I was in the offline world, in the insurance industry, my income, it instantly doubled and trebled. And then not long after that, it quadrupled. So now I'm going to show you a 9-step process so you can uncover sales opportunities you would have otherwise missed. This is pure gold. Here it comes. Set the agenda. Take the lead in the conversation by telling them what you'll be covering during your appointment. Outline the main benefits you'll be featuring. Tell them you'll be offering your services at the end of the conversation, but only if you're 100% certain you can help them. Establish their goal. It's imperative to establish the prospect's primary goal. What do they want? When do they want it? How are they going to get it? Determine the gap. Sales opportunities open up when we highlight the gap in glorious technicolor. In other words, this is where you are now. This is current reality. And this is where you want to be. I'm gesticulating here. You can't see me, but this is where you want to be. This is future potential. So we've got current reality. It's where you are. You don't want to stay there. You want to move across to future potential, which represents reaching the summit, if you like. So we need to highlight the gap in glorious technicolor. Number 4, bridge the gap. How can you help them bridge the gap? Show them your solutions so you help your prospects solve their problem and have a better tomorrow. Okay, so we need to determine the gap first. In a way, it's more important than number 4. Number 5, remind them why nothing has worked before. This one is a big one. Very big clue here. Perhaps because they made the wrong choice before. Often your prospect will not know or fully appreciate the cost of their challenges, and indeed the cost of delay in terms of solving the challenge, the problem. Determine the implications of not solving their problems and challenges. Your job is to help them feel just how bad things will be if they don't take action and do something different. Remember, people are twice as motivated to move away from fear than they are to move towards wants and dreams and goals. Okay? Fear is a great motivator. I talk about the life insurance industry. What are we talking about there? Protecting the family if the breadwinner dies, kind of thinking. Okay, it's fear motivation, but doing it in a nice way. Yeah, doing it in a nice way. Professional. You need to do it with integrity, for sure. Offer a conceptual solution. Talk in general terms about your solution. Paint the picture in their mind. I never pull out, like when I was doing the life insurance, I never pull out the rate book and start calculating and doing all of that until they bought into the conceptual solution. Yeah, that's the way to do it. Get their agreement. This is a great idea first before you go into the details, specific details of your offer. Number 7, get them excited about the solution. Paint a vivid picture, their problem solved, and illustrate with stories of others who have embraced the solution. Your prospect will get excited. Nothing surer. But now, so once I've done that, only then will I show them some exact, facts and figures and so on. So that's number 8. Share the details of your solution. Show them your product or service package offer. Make sure you build the value before you reveal the price, of course. So you step them through the different inclusions and elements. Along the way, you can show social proof, examples of people who've used these strategies and have done well as a result. And then, of course, you make the sale. Do it right, and half the time they'll ask you to buy it. If you get the first 8 steps right, the making of the sale is just a formality. It's no big deal. And as I say, half the time, sometimes more, they'll ask you to buy it. Isn't that a beautiful thing to have happen? So, look, I was going to continue on and go into some depth on this topic, overcoming objections, handling stalls and things like that, and really look at the 4 primary objections, plus a few other things I was going to cover. But when I looked at it, I did a bit of a rough rehearsal, and it was another half hour. And this training, really want to keep it to 1 hour. So I'm going to hold it over. And create a separate module just on this topic, okay? Because it is an important topic. And I'm going to offer that module free of charge to people who satisfy one little requirement. And you're going to learn about that very soon. So let's continue on. I'm not going to do the training on this now. I just want to wrap this. I want to wrap this recording up, wrap this session up, and then if you qualify, I'll give you this separate standalone training on objection handling, etc. How's that sound? Pretty good? Okay, stay tuned. So what's the next step? Well, I hope you see the awesome power of this training. And I've got something for you, business expansion call. It's where you get the chance to talk to me one-on-one. After 25 years in face-to-face, belly-to-belly direct sales, then 14 years as a highly successful online marketer, I'm uniquely placed to help you and your online or offline business. So watch this brief video and then apply for a free sales consultation. Then we can work on your biggest sales and or marketing challenge. I've got a caveat here. I cannot guarantee your application will be successful. This is not fake scarcity or anything like that. The reason is that I do have scarce number of hours. My time is limited, so I only accept the best quality applications, so make sure yours is a good one. I'm getting these things coming in all the time, and I will pick the ones that I like. Have attended these calls. Here's one here, Kim Speed. I'm so pleased I got the opportunity. It was great info to help me with my business. This is someone else. This is Pat, good friend of mine now. Just so you know, you contacting me, talking with me as a newbie, even at my age, kept me in this game. It's not perfect, but it beats the real business world. And then he said something else. Yes, he is, but you can, because somebody made a comment after Pat, so that's why there's a white space there. I deleted that because it wasn't appropriate or necessary. But you can copy and paste this or ask me to post the same anywhere you want. You're a good man, Mr. Willis. Peter, I mentioned Peter before. Despite taking lots of action, I was desperately in need of some straight talking as my results were at best somewhat disappointing. Today's consultancy session was not only helpful, but it opened the doors to many other very practical opportunities for me that I can't wait to get started on. Many thanks for some advice. There's Laura up the top here. Great content and explanations of the content. Thank you. Your 5 sessions, blah, blah, blah. So this wasn't so much a one-on-one, but it just, I was able to connect with her in a different way. It really impacted 150 new leads to work with, and I have no complaints that I will be busy in the next week doing follow-ups, etc. Georgia, another call I did with her, an insightful one-on-one coaching session where Kim was able to provide expert actionable tips, and on it went. Herb, I'm living proof that the strategy you teach works, and also living proof that solo ads and Facebook ads take time and money for limited results. Your strategy, applied consistently over 90 days, changed everything, and I have not spent a cent to advertise. The quality of leads are way higher too. Well, there's just a few. I could go on for an hour with some of the other ones, but anyway, during this 30-minute call, we'll discuss your most pressing marketing challenges, establish goals so you'll get a lot of clarity about your business, give you an exact strategy on how to make it happen, uncover any hidden challenges that prevent you from taking the next steps in your online journey, and you will leave the session with a spring in your step and a smile on your face. Finally, you have a pathway to prosperity that you can believe in. Well, congratulations, you made it to the end. Wow, you're one of the special few who made it to the end. A lot of people don't do that. As I explained earlier in this training, a lot of people quit on courses. They don't complete them, they don't even start them. This wasn't a course, it was kind of like a course, a 1-hour course, okay? And look, I spoke about the extra training module, about a 30-minute second module on overcoming objections such as I can't afford it, I want to think it over and all that, I want to talk to my, my partner, etc. Okay, plus I've got some other absolute gems. I've got some gems for you in this second training as well. I'll package it up. And it will be for people who take up my offer. Talk to Kim, business expansion call. Even if I don't accept you, even if we don't do the call, I'm still going to give you the bonus training just because you made a request. Okay, so either way, you're going to get the training, but you have to make a request, and you know what to do. Yeah, do it. I think it's somewhere below this video. Make a request, and I'll make sure that you get that bonus training. Okay, this is Kim Willis. Bye for now.